the atmosphere is electric here at GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium. Folks, two squads walking into this AFC Championship game carrying the baggage of last season. Both with a lot to prove, both with chips on their shoulders, and both wanting the final spot in Super Bowl 57. It's the rematch. The reigning conference champions Cincinnati Bengals are looking to return to the game's biggest stage, but they have to go through the hungry, revenge-driven Chiefs of Kansas City. Yes, it is a frigid 21 degrees here, but it feels like 8. Guess what? Bill Cowher said that is perfect weather for a perfect night of football.
Guys, there he is, the great Patrick Mahomes. You can see his right ankle right there. Everything in pregame warm-ups told us that he was fine. He looked great, and he is ready to rock and roll for the Chiefs tonight.
And there's Travis Kelce. He is the triple count leader amongst tight ends, catches, yards, and touchdowns. He was questionable coming into this game, but he's ready to go.
And that is Joe Burrow, a.k.a. Joe Cole. He's been 5-1 in the playoffs, 3-0 on the road, but more importantly, 3-0 versus Patrick Mahomes.
Jamar Chase, wide receiver for the Bengals versus Kansas City. 3 games, 139 yards a game, 4 touchdowns, and averaging 8 catches a game.
And hello, folks, and welcome to a special championship edition of the NFL Today, presented by Ram Trucks. I'm James Brown, coming to you live from Kansas City with my esteemed and layered up colleagues, Boomer Esiason, Nate Burleson, Bill Cowher, and Phil Simms. And tonight, we have two squads ready to scrap for a spot in the Super Bowl. And you know what? These two have some bad blood between them and a whole lot of recent history as well, Boomer.
And guys, look, we got two of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Joe Burrow, 3-0 against Patrick Mahomes. Take a look at his numbers: 72% completion, 327 yards per game, 8 touchdowns, and 1 interception. On the other side, it's Patrick Mahomes. He looked great in pre-game warm-up. He even did his patented fadeaway jump shot that Nate said, look, the ankle's fine. So we're going to see what happens when Sam Hubbard and Trey Hendrickson have something to say about it. Pre-game warm-up is one thing. The real game is a completely different set of circumstances.
Yeah, when you look at the Cincinnati Bengals, they've won 3 games, but it's been a tale of 2 halves. It's been the defense in the second half. Of those 3 games, they scored a total, that being the Kansas City offense, of only 20 points. Kansas City has led in the second half of all 3 of those games. They have not been able to finish because of Lou Anarumo and that defense have been able to stifle that offense of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Listen, Joe Burrow and the Bengals deserve all the praise that they've been getting. After all, they have beat the Chiefs the last 3 times. Despite Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid having more success, the narrative is the Bengals have the Chiefs number. Who Dey Nation hasn't been shy letting everybody know. A coach once told me, though, you can never force a team to show you respect, but you can make them pay if they disrespect you.
Yeah, you know, listen, you can win the game in the trenches. We saw in the first championship game today in Philadelphia. The Cincinnati offensive line, they got a tough matchup going here today against the Kansas City Chiefs defensive line that's big, second in the NFL in sacks. You got to worry about Chris Jones, where he's going to move around, and also Frank Clark, a very good pass rusher from the outside.
A lot of elements that we're looking forward to in this matchup. And, folks, we know there is so much going on around the league right now. And who better to update us than the man with his eye on the league. That is our insider, Jonathan Jones. JJ, what's the latest?
Yeah, JB, we're going to start with some coaching news, and we're going to start in the NFC title game. The 49ers defensive coordinator, DeMeco Ryans, he has a tight grip on the Houston Texans head coaching job. He once played for them, and he actually once sued them over a torn Achilles. That's not stopping him from pursuing Houston, and sources say he's ready to go there. And here, Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy, he may be coaching his final postseason with the Kansas City Chiefs. If he doesn't get the Colts head job, look for him to be an offensive coordinator with a team with a defensive-minded head coach. That could be Washington or Baltimore or Tennessee. They all have interest. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, Joe Burrow and Cincinnati, they plan to be together for a long, long time, and he should be a very rich man this offseason. League sources say Burrow is in line to become the highest-paid quarterback in the league in terms of average annual value. It's going to start, JB, at $50 million per year and only go up today with a win and then 2 weeks from now. It likely won't be a fully guaranteed deal like Deshaun Watson. Now, terms like length and guaranteed money, that's going to have to be worked out. But look for a more traditional deal. The Bengals once made Carson Palmer the richest quarterback in NFL history, and they're set to do it again with Joe Burrow.
Well, the man who lives in New England, he looks very calm out there, that being J.J. Hitt. And like J.J., Jamar Chase, one of the best at his position week in and week out. He's been slicing up opposing Ds, letting the world know that number one is top two. And, folks, he is not two.
The NFL Today on CBS is powered by Ram Trucks, built to serve.
Well, an X factor for this Chiefs team, leading rusher Isaiah Pacheco, folks. He runs hard. 5 touchdowns on the year for this versatile offense. In fact, he's one of 14 different Chiefs with an offensive touchdown, proving that this offense is rated E for everyone. Well, time now for Wait Till You See This, presented by Snapchat.
All right, I got something pretty cool for you. Let me get that camera on Boom over here. You know, Boom, I've never seen you in person in a Bengals helmet, but there's a lens that we can throw on you. Pop that thing up. Oh, baby.
Oh, wow.
Hey, you know what, Boom? You said you look good in that helmet. And I'm ready. I'm ready to go right now. You're ready to go? All right, hold up. Phil, what do we got? That's
baby.
You look good in that Chiefs helmet right there.
Wow. We got a lot in common, me and Patrick Mahomes.
Do you?
I don't know what it is, but we got it.
It's not the money. All right, now listen, to try on the Bengals or Chiefs helmet, you can go to that QR code listed below. You know what? I want to get Coach and JB involved. You know what? Get the camera on these guys. Turn. There it is. Oh, baby. Something out of fairy tale. You know what? You guys have never looked better. That's that cartoon lens right there. Go ahead and scan the QR code, and you can look at all the lenses right on Snapchat.
They got this right, didn't they, Nate? Hey, Travis Kelce doesn't need a filter, Nate, to look good on the field. Folks, that man has been on an absolute tear. 14 receptions for 98 yards and 2 tutties, just cementing his legacy as one of the greatest tight ends to ever lace them up.
Kelce, touchdown, Kelce, touchdown, Kelce. Kelce stretches out for the end zone, touchdown.
Travis Kelce is a touchdown machine.
I can live in this moment right here. Turn it up and down, turn it up and down.
Well, Travis Kelce is in elite company, to say the least. In just 16 games, his 14 touchdown receptions ranks 3rd all-time in the postseason, only behind Rob Gronkowski and Jerry Rice. And Kelce seems to be a handful every single matchup.
You're right about that, JB. Hear me and hear me good. Travis Kelce is the best tight end to ever play the game. Here's why. At 6'5", 250, he can get open like a wide receiver. You need him to move the chains. He can make those tough contested catches. And then he's also an extension of that offensive line. Very underrated part of his game as he blocks very well, Bo.
You know, all three guys that were on that list played with great Hall of Fame type quarterbacks. And there is no question that Travis and Patrick Mahomes have something on the field that very few players are ever able to develop, and that is chemistry just by looking at each other.
Well, you know, Travis Kelce has a special guy throwing the football, and Patrick Mahomes to him. And last week, once he hurt that ankle, what did Andy Reid and the Chiefs do? Well, they gave him more protection so he could have more space and time and gather up to throw the football. You see the chips, the double teams, and this pass right on target as he has lots of space to throw in to Noah Gray over the middle. And then once again, they're going to chip the outside to give Patrick Mahomes a little space so he can hitch up with that bad right ankle and make the throw, a back shoulder throw to Juju Smith down that left sideline. So a really good game plan by Andy Reid covering up for Patrick Mahomes.
You know what you mentioned, Patrick Mahomes, certainly coach knows this, as great as he has been, his kryptonite certainly has been, especially in the second half of games, Lou Anarumo's D.
Yeah, when you look at the Cincinnati Bengals defense in the postseason, these last 2 years, they're 5-1, only giving up 18 points a game. No team scored over 24 points. Outstanding in takeaways, third down and red zone. And one of the big playmakers they have is a slot corner named Mike Hilton. And his skill set for that is number one, you're going to be able to disguise and the timing to blitz. DJ Reed is going to smack the ball down, and there he is right there, Mike Hilton in the way. A feel for route concepts. His slot corner to sit there and play it man-to-man and play in zone. You feel hold off the curl, come up, and be a solid tackler. And the other element of that slot corner is you have to play against the run, set the edge, and get your nose right into the fray sometimes in the running game. He may be little, but he's got powerful, he's impactful. He goes low, he makes the play right there. Mike Hilton is a big playmaker in the Cincinnati defense, a big reason why they've been so successful in the playoffs.
You want to know what else, guys? They've gotten key turnovers, and Sam Hubbard has been in the middle of a lot of stuff. Here last year, 2 sacks, a fumble recovery, a forced fumble, a strip sack. I mean, it's been crazy. And, of course, he had the Hubbard yard run in the Rumble in the Jungle. So this defense has been opportunistic.
They have. And you look at the last 3 victories over the Chiefs, the Bengals really didn't have to blitz, only 12% of the time. But I expect them to dial that up and look for Mike Hilton to come off of that slot, bring that blitz, maybe on the backside to catch Patrick Mahomes off guard.
Well, here's Lou Anarumo, the defensive coordinator for the Bengals. His number one goal today in this team is to do what? Make sure Travis Kelce does not beat us. Beat him at the line of scrimmage with Trey Flowers and Dax Hill, big guys that can cover him. Down in the red zone, make sure you bump him, hit him, or double team him. We're going to see a lot of that today because Travis Kelce can't be the key to their victory.
And there's Joe Burrow, Joe Thorough, Joe Shiesty, Joe Feisty, Joe Brrr. He has 5 career playoff wins, as many as all other Bengals QBs combined. He's looking for number 6 up against Patrick Mahomes, who has not beat Joe Burrow in his career. You know what? Something's got to give with a trip to Super Bowl 57 on the line.
Time now for pregame HQ delivered by Domino's. Well, folks, the anticipation for the matchup, it's building here in Kansas City as the Bengals and the Chiefs get ready for battle to see who will become the second and final member of the Super Bowl family.
All right, I'll see you later. Thanks. As far back as they can remember, every player always wanted to be a champion. Thing is, you got to find a way in. The margin of error in the playoffs is so thin, it can liquefy in the field with just a little turmoil. It's a very good system. How you doing, Gino? Everybody else has to live out the offseason like a schnook. You order a conference title and a Super Bowl run, you lay an egg and spend the offseason playing catch-up. You too. Every time I come in here, you too. Don't you lose? That's Patty the Chucker. And he's got Travis the Dancer, who's Philly Center's brother. Meanwhile, they got beef with Joey 2 Times, who got that name because he does everything twice. Like, I'm going to go win an Arrowhead. Then there's Patty's coach, Fat Andy. Andy may move slow, but it's only because Andy hosts the title game at his house every year, and Andy doesn't have to move for anybody. Trev took his first playoff pinch like a man. And I thought this guy was finally going to get made. This guy is just funny in the way they tell the story, and it's the same every year. It's funny. In the AFC, it's the 2 same families in the final sit-down. No sense in complaining or asking to see the manager like some sort of playoff Karen. And with these defenses, if anybody complained twice, They get hit so hard, believe me, they never complained again. You got some guys banged up? Too bad. Beat me. You worked so hard all season long. Too bad. Beat me. They already sold tickets to a title game you think you're going to be in? Too bad. Beat me. To be a member of a Super Bowl crew, you got to be 100% committed so they can trace your roster all the way back through the season. It's the highest honor they can give you, and it means you're part of a Super Bowl family.
We got a rematch of last year's title game between the Bengals and the Chiefs.
Salute to KC and Cincy. You're great teams, and you're good fellas.
Shout out to my guy, Kyle Brandt, who's been giving us heat all season long. And just like in the movie Goodfellas, as far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a champion. And these guys have a chance to today. You know what I'm saying?
Well, folks, with that in mind, we do have an NFC champion, folks. The Eagles will be playing for the Lombardi Trophy.
I'll tell you what, they hammered the 49ers. The first series on offense, Hassan Reddick, who had a monster first half with 2 sacks, knocks out Brock Purdy. Josh Johnson has to come in for the 49ers. And Josh Johnson ends up getting hurt. This is the 4th rushing touchdown for the Philadelphia Eagles. They go on to win 31-7. Our Melanie Collins caught up with Hassan Reddick, Philadelphia Eagle defensive end in Philadelphia.
Hassan, congratulations on the win. You guys took it to this Niners team with the physicality from start to finish. What allowed you to be so dominant today?
We knew what this game meant. They were our opponents. They were in a way for us to get to the Super Bowl. We came out, we played a complete game in all phases, and we got the job done at the end of the day. That's all that mattered. We got the job done. We're on our way to the Super Bowl.
Yes, you are. What's that mean to you? How's that feel?
It means everything. It means everything to me. You know, it took me a long time to get to the playoffs. I come home, this team, the things we've been through, the way we played to get to this point. I can't explain it. It's been one heck of a journey, and I'm glad that it's all working out.
Hassan, what is it about the makeup of this team that tells you you can win that Super Bowl?
We're on a mission right now. We're on a mission. We're on a roll. It starts with our faith and belief in each other. Coaches, players, everybody that come in the building, we all believe. We all believe, and we're fighting together at the end of the day, and it showed today.
Congratulations. Enjoy the win.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles and that fan base. You know, it's one thing to find your rhythm during the season, to be the best team, and then to deal with injuries, but then make it to the Super Bowl after a year that they have had. Credit to them and head coach Sirianni.
Yeah, you look at this football team, the physicality with which they play is just amazing. San Francisco plays physical as well, but they play with the physicality and they don't beat themselves.
It's kind of old school, coach.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts does not beat himself, and you know, all of a sudden San Francisco commits 7 penalties on defense against first downs. So this football team is going to be hard to beat because they come at you on every side of you. They're disciplined and they're tough.
Well, it was power versus speed today in that NFC Championship game, and the game was won in the trenches.
It was.
Philadelphia won on the offensive line all game long, and they won on the defensive side in the trenches. Their power really showed over the.
Hey, Phil, you're getting emotional about it. I see that tears strolling down your face.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the weather.
Hey, the understated excellence of one Jalen Hurts certainly cannot be underestimated.
Right about that, Jimmy.
Hey, folks, we are inching closer to kickoff to this much-anticipated AFC Championship game, but we're also excited for the upcoming movie from Nintendo and Illumination. Check out this special look at the Super Mario Brothers movie, only in theaters April 7th.
Let's go.
Okay. Not sure if you know who I am, but I'm about to rule the world.
Together, we are going to stop Bowser.
How? Look at us. We're adorable.
I got this. No problem.
There's a lot of galaxies. They're all counting on us. No pressure.
News April 7th. Rated PG.
The NFL Today is sponsored by H&R Block. It's tax season. Modelo, brewed for full-time fans with a fighting spirit. And by Ram Trucks, built to serve.
Well, it is now time to deliver our picks with game day delivery presented by Amazon. You know what? The last two meetings have ended with the Bengals winning by the same score, 27-24. The question is, will this be any different?
Well, the Chief fans are sitting there saying, Burrowhead, not today. But just my opinion, I think the Cincinnati Bengals are going to find a way to win this game 23-20.
You know, I think this game was made personal with all the chirping that's taken place during the course of the week. The questions about Mahomes and Kelsey, I think all they had to do was hear that. They've been out here today. I like 24-17 the Kansas City Chiefs.
As you can see, it is cold out here. And they say revenge is the dish best served cold. I'm going with the Chiefs' little payback, 28-24.
Chiefs defense, 33 TD passes given up, first in the NFL. 14 pass interference calls, first in the NFL. I'm going with that Bengal passing game, as I've been doing all year, 31-27 Bengals.
Well, you know, we're cold up here, but this weather today in this stadium is perfect for these players. It should not be a factor. And the other thing is, Patrick Mahomes, we keep saying everything's great. I got to see it to believe it today.
I hear you on that.
And this is a different team. They were played here a year ago. They're more patient around the football. Patrick Mahomes will be more patient. And I think they got a chip on their shoulder, the same one that the Cincinnati Bengals have had throughout this playoffs.
Phil, I hear you on that. The balance of this game hangs on the health of Patrick Mahomes' ankle. And we'll see what this looks like in the third and fourth quarter when it's really cold out here.
You know, I said it earlier. The Bengal defense has come up with so many key turnovers all year long. They will come up with a key turnover tonight, much like my 1988 team did with our defense. So I expect to see the same thing here tonight.
You said it was cold for us, but for the players, you said
it's perfect.
Beautiful.
They love it. They warmed up. All of them are happy the weather is the way it is.
Just about time for what everyone has been waiting for. And Nate,
it's the AFC Championship game. Bengals, Chiefs, the rematch next. Let's go,